welcome back. What are we gonna do now, man? I mean, we did two really kind of messed up stories there. You know, and that public service announcement about killing the police and all the rest of this kind of stuff. So
yeah, in case you missed that last segment, kill the police.
Yeah, kill the police. I mean, death, harm, pain is the solution to a lot of things. I know all the women out there like, you know, that's why the world is not run by women, because we don't really give a shit what they have to say when it comes to things like this. Yeah, we need to start killing these people, and there has to be some serious ramifications, and then you would stop this nonsense, and then, you know, add insult to injury, they're gonna have some stupid Saturday Night Live sketch with how this guy kills himself. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's not a story. That's not a story. That's not a story.
No, I'm finding your Shia LaBeouf story.
Oh, you want to do that now? I thought you were going to do the oral sex thing, but yeah, the Shia LaBeouf thing, we could do that thing. Yeah. No, well, this one on oral sex. I mean, but we'll get to that too. But this, I don't know. You can start it off, man. I mean, this is yeah, go ahead, man. I mean, 'cause I got a lot to say about this too.
Well, I mean, this was just made known to me earlier today.
Yeah.
Apparently, Shia LaBeouf, star of the Transformers movie,
and the Indiana Jones,
and
the
last
Crystal
Indiana
Skulls.
Jones.
Yeah.
You know, the kid who no one thinks has any business in blockbuster movies because he really doesn't act that well. Well, apparently he's decided to become more of an artiste in his craft, and he's taking on an interesting role in a movie by
Lars von Trier, who's a sick motherfucker. All right, this guy is one of those filmmakers that, you know, he's sort of like he's an artiste or whatever, and I think he's a pornographer. I honestly think he's into exploitation and pornography, because he always does these things that it doesn't further the film along in any way other than to discuss people and create dialogue such as this. So in this particular situation, Shia is going to be in a film about a nymphomaniac. So all of the sex in the film is going to be real, not simulated. And to me, I think that's a fucking cop-out. Even though, obviously, since the story is about a nymphomaniac and it's about sex, but there was a film recently with Michael Fassbender when he played like a really reprehensible, like just sexual deviant dude, and there was no actual sex in that film at all, because it's not necessary. I mean, the whole thing about, to me, in my opinion, about being a successful and creative filmmaker is to be able to create a reality when you know, people are not being killed, people are not being shot, the tears may be real, but the actual premise behind the tears was, fabricated due to story and script and so on and so forth. And to create that sort of artificial world and make a person receive it and evoke emotional response, that takes craft and skill. This dude, like I said, is just a pornographer. So I don't even blame the Shia dude because he wants to try and expand his horizons or whatever, or take chances, since most people think he sucks, and he probably sucked dick to get to where he is, because I don't know how he's, he's in Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps. He's in all of these big movies with these big directors, and he's terrible. I mean, probably the most successful thing I've ever seen him do was get his ass whipped outside of a bar one day in Canada, I think it was, or LA or something like that. He got his ass beat.
But that wasn't a movie.
No, it wasn't a movie. He got his ass beat by some fucking dude, looked like one of the guys that write the numbers on the letters on their stomach at a football game. The fucking drunk white dude with a big beer belly with the fucking, the dude just beat his ass and left him in a fetal position crying in the gutter.
But it was real.
Oh, it was real. He really whooped his ass. But I mean, to me, like I said, this is something, it just offends me just as a filmmaker, just simply because I think there's no real need to actually show the act take place, especially if it's just regular. I mean, if it's integral, if it's oral sex and things like that, I could see maybe, getting real close or something like that to lend credence to it. But this is just,
I don't know, I still find there's like some type of bias against it because it's a sex act. I mean, no one ever complains when all these actors, train for 16 weeks and are really doing their own stunts. And
well, see, that's something totally different, because if I'm supposed to be a boxer in a film and I'm fat and tubby and disgusting, it's never going to sell. You can't sell the illusion of me being a successful fighter if I'm a sloppy, out of shape bum who can't. That's like when you like when you watch Charlie's Angels and you see the ropes holding Drew Barrymore's legs up. Nobody's, it's a comedy. Nobody's going to believe that Drew Barrymore can actually beat your ass. At least do some yoga or something to get yourself flexible. So that's totally different. I mean, this is something that with camera placement and the right angles and things like that, you can actually convey the same thing as if it's really happening without actually having to show it.
I'm not doubting that you can do that. My whole thing is, so what? What's the big deal if they do the real thing or they don't do the real thing?
Well, I mean, there's a variety of different. I mean, because now the guy's not a professional fucking porn star, so now it's one thing to go on there and to act, but if you see, and I'm pretty sure you've seen this before, a lot of guys that think they could be in the porn business, all of a sudden have a couple of cameras and dudes in the room looking at you, and their dick goes straight down.
Okay.
Soon as the people leave, the meat come right back up. So, I'm not saying anything about Shia. I'm just saying, how is that going to help the story along to show the actual penetration? Like, you remember Caligula back in the days? Mm-hmm. Okay, now Malcolm McDowell didn't do anything. It was all the people around him who were real porn stars that did all of this shit, and that was supposed to show a decadent era of Rome at that time or whatever, and so I can understand that, but this is.
See, I mean,
his past works just, the dude is just.
Yeah, I mean, clearly he's a sick fucking. I mean, the movie he did with Willem Dafoe, whatever the hell, that's
Greece. What?
No, it's the Willem Dafoe movie.
I don't even know the name of that fucking shit. It was
fucking Sickness. That's what the name of it was.
Some shit where Willem Dafoe and his wife had lost their child, and I don't even know the name of it.
Yeah,
but
she
the woman
cut her own clit off with shears and shit. It was fucking horrible.
It was ridiculous.
But I guess my whole thing is what we discussed earlier about like we said, if it was a movie about a porn star and they had actual sex in the movie, then you thought that was fine.
See, I can understand, like, I referenced Boogie Nights. Okay, now Boogie Nights, obviously is about the porn industry, and they were able to convey everything about the porn industry without you actually seeing any actual penetration, and it didn't take away from the film at all. So now I did the reverse, and I thought, okay, Nina Hartley, who is a known porn actress, played what's his face is the guy that looked like Flanders, the actor, William H. Macy,
right?
Played William H. Macy's wife. Now she is a legitimate porn actress. Yet in the scene she was getting dinged off in the driveway, and they didn't show any penetration. Now if anybody that could respond to it would have been her, because that's her profession. But they didn't, and there was no. I didn't feel cheated. I didn't feel that it wasn't an actual scene.
Okay, so I guess
do the reverse. If you saw the dick going in her, would it have made the scene any better?
But I guess my question is, would it have made it worse?
No, it's unnecessary. It would. The only thing that would have happened if you actually saw it is I would have went, oh shit, they're actually showing sex.
Right.
So, but that's what I'm saying. This guy is a sensationalist director. He's not furthering the story along. Yeah, by seeing Shia pull his actual dick out and put it in somebody's ass, I'm gonna go, holy shit, that's Shia LaBeouf, who was in the Transformers. He putting his dick in somebody's ass. But that is not furthering. How is that adding to
I'm not saying it was adding to it. My whole thing is it hurting it? I mean, this director's main problem is,
it's going to be a distraction. It's going to be a distraction because in my mind,
distraction of what? Both those movies are horrible. They don't make any goddamn sense. You don't know what's going on. Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell is the difference?
That's if he tries to have some sort of linear story, because I mean, to me, that would distract me. It's like, there was a great underground film from students from the School of Visual Arts back in the early '90s called Street Trash, and it was a scene where some tough guy detective was being assaulted by two like clown lackeys or whatever in a urinal. So he beat the shit out of one of them, right? And banged his head into a urinal, pissed on him, and then threw up on him, to add insult to injury. And of course, they showed the water hitting the guy, and you didn't see it actually coming out of the spout of his joint. And you saw the guy put his finger in his mouth, and then it cut to the guy with chunky soup getting thrown on him. But you never saw it in one take, and it wasn't necessary. I was reviled and revolted anyway. I was like, ugh, because the thought of somebody throwing up on somebody's head, to wash away the piss that you already put in his head was enough for me. I didn't actually need to see it come out of his mouth. Now you're talking about, two girls, one cup shit or whatever the hell it is. To me, it doesn't add anything. It didn't add anything. Fuck it.
But all I'm saying is there's hundreds of thousands of shit that cats do in movies that don't add a damn thing to it.
I understand.
So That's what I'm saying. Is it just because it's sex, which we don't normally see in regular movies, that makes it a big deal?
Well,
that he's not adding anything to it?
No, but like I said, this is the same guy that slaughtered a donkey for a film. I mean, there's things that we just don't, that we always address death in films, but obviously we don't kill anybody else. That's a snuff film. And we always address sex in films, yet we do not show actual sex acts outside of kissing and grinding and stuff like that. I mean, bullets, everything that you can think of that we normally put in films, we have to simulate it. You know, it's just, you know, like animal sacrifice when they cut chickens' necks in these voodoo movies. The knife has blood. They're not actually slaughtering a chicken, or it's a rubber chicken. It's not real. You know, there's no need to actually implement the real activity or the real act. It's not necessary. It doesn't do anything but create dialogue. I mean, this guy is like this guy, like I said, this guy is just an exhibitionist, and he's a sensationalist hog. I mean, his movies stink.
See, to me, that's his greatest crime, is that these movies are just terrible. You know, maybe that's why he does all of this shit, because he's like, I can't think of a good story to save my fucking life. None of the shit does make sense, but people want to see it because I have horrific or just mind-bending shit that I put in there, and you know, I mean,
it's just art house madness. I mean, and that's where his shit should stay, in an art house. I mean, you know, you see a lot of those films, you run into a whole bunch of crazy situations and stuff like that, and that's why those are experimental films. This guy is on I mean, he gets legitimate budgets to do experimental artistic nonsense, and whatever. I personally don't think Shia should even soil himself by doing that. That's me personally.
But the story already said that he already did some naked ass shit somewhere.
Oh no, in a video. I mean, he stood naked in a video. I mean, I had no problem with nudity, but I mean, just, you know, obviously, I mean, you know, I think Americans in whole have this taboo about the human body, which is fucking stupid, because we're naked every day at one point or another, unless you was a dirty bum motherfucker. So
I don't know. It seems like you're straddling the fence. You know, you're kind of prudish to one thing and not to another.
Well, no. I don't mind doing a sexually provocative film. That's not what I'm saying. Tackling subject matter that is outside of the comfort zone of the American cinema, because American cinema is made for fucking teenagers and below. So I have no problem with that, but you don't necessarily have to show the whole entire act. You can have a more sexually progressive film.
I understand that. You keep saying that. We all know you don't have to, but you're making it seem like because you do.
But because I honestly think it's going to become the focal point of the film. Is, holy shit, there's real dick from that actor. It's not a body double. It's real sex from this actor that's not in this industry. It's going to pull me. To me personally, it's going to pull me out of the film, because I'm going to focus more on, holy shit, this guy really did this, and not about the film. So
I mean, well, like you said, even the simulations, the drawing point. I mean, I remember when Pulp Fiction came out, and everyone kept on saying, "You got to see this scene. You got to see this scene."
What you mean, like, the ear cutting? Oh, you mean when Marcellus was getting doinked in his booty?
Yeah.
By Zed.
Yeah, because you don't see guys getting ass raped in regular movies and shit. Yeah, you know. But that's what I'm saying. People got. I mean, that damn near made that film. I mean, other stuff. I mean, obviously the totality of the film was, you know, something that, you know, and it helped move or create a genre, but that shit was what everyone was talking about.
Yeah, about the guy getting fucked.
So that's what I'm saying. It didn't destroy cinema. Blah 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 blah.
It didn't. But I mean, okay, put it this way. If you saw that dude rest his fucking dick on fucking Ving Rhames' ass cheeks, that shit would have destroyed that film. I would have walked out that theater. It would have been over. Because already I'm like, God damn, what's happening here? But I still have the comfort to know that it's not real. Yeah, if I actually saw this dude's rustling around on Ving Rhames' bare ass, that would have been the end of the film for me. I'm sorry. I would have left the theater. I don't want to see that shit.
And that is the end of this segment, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back in a couple of minutes to God knows what else, but that's why you keep watching.
Yeah.